Yo, welcome everyone. Bitcoin is dumping once again, and we unfortunately broke down some major patterns. Let me tell you the truth, you probably do not want to hear. Now, first you're going to see that yes, our rising wedge of course, and also the ascending triangle patterns are seeing a major break towards downside. Also, in our yesterday's video, we talked about that our ascending channel right here, it is still holding and acting as an area of support. Now, unfortunately today, this is not the case. The ascending channel on the 2-hour time frame is right now also getting quite a significant break towards the downside. Also, when we right now go with our major diagonal area of resistance, yes, at least as of right now, Bitcoin, it is trying to reclaim the level once again towards the upside. However, we can right now also say, only a few hours ago, it was broken back towards the downside. And with this major push down, of course, a lot of people have gotten liquidated. Pay attention to the past 24-hour liquidations. Almost 600 million of long trades completely wrecked and completely liquidated. Now, with my trades, yes, at least as of right now, my Bitcoin long trade is being in a slight loss. The Ethereum long trade is being still in a very nice profit. Solana trade, yes, it is also being in red. And unfortunately, I also got stopped out on my long trade on XRP. Later in the video, we are going to talk about what can be our next potential trade on Bitcoin and also on Ethereum and XRP. However, in the first part in this video, we are going to talk about a bearish scenario, and after that, I also want to share with you a bullish scenario that potentially can still right now play out. Why so? Because yes, Bitcoin on the move towards the upside, and it's right now actually also getting some kind of a reaction towards the upside from a very important key level. Remember, what is usually the most important Fibonacci ratio? We go from our swing low back towards the exact swing high. And yes, Bitcoin only a few hours ago hit the golden Fibonacci ratio that was also aligning almost perfectly with the daily high time frame area of support at approximately 86,000 US dollar area. So yes, I definitely need to share with you what is a bearish scenario on Bitcoin right now, simply because our patterns right here are getting a breakdown, and also what is then going to be a bullish scenario or a bullish Bitcoin indication when potentially we can say, okay, Bitcoin probably bottomed out, let's fire a brand new long trade. But first of all, let's talk about what are going to be our lower targets, or simply what is going to be our bearish scenario we have been talking about for a very long time right now. Of course, as you probably know, we have been going with our Elliott impulsive wave, and we were simply identifying our first impulse right here, we got a correction, another impulse, another correction, and right now simply, if Bitcoin does continue lower, we are then definitely talking about our fifth and our final push towards the upside for Bitcoin to finish the entire 5-wave price structure. The price target of our fifth Elliott wave is also very simple to identify. Usually, it is going to be 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension of our first Elliott wave, or simply then, we are also going to pay attention to our liquidity level, literally just below our recent low. And the 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension price target of our fifth Elliott wave is simply going to be measured right here from the exact all-time high, straight towards the downside, putting the third pivot exactly at the start of our fifth Elliott wave, and going right now with our 1-to-1 Fibonacci extension level. So you can right now see the next theoretical target of our fifth Elliott wave is going to be at approximately 70,000 US dollars, which is then going to mean we are looking for another lower low on Bitcoin. But of course, also the moment we go below our recent low of the third Elliott wave, of course, if Bitcoin right now does continue lower, I would already say pay attention to our lower targets, which are in this scenario going to be our daily and weekly levels at approximately 80,000 US dollar area. So very, very simply, if Bitcoin does continue lower, the most important thing you need to pay attention to is simply going to be another lower low below this specific low, or simply then, if we are going to go even lower, pay attention towards 70,000 US dollars on the Bitcoin price itself. And this is right now also why I would really appreciate for you to smash on the like button, because 1000 likes are really possible. And of course, also thank you for subscribing to the channel. Yes, in the next few days, I'm also going to reopen my free VIP Discord group. So definitely make sure you pay attention to the video that is going to be released on Friday. But now let's also talk about why potentially we can be expecting lower targets in the next few days. Unfortunate reality is that yes, on every single time frame. Doesn't really matter if we are right now talking about the 4 hourly, the 2 hourly, the 1 hourly time frame. We are clearly moving in a significant downtrend. 50 EMA, the red line, is below 200 EMA. So there is no doubt. Talking about the trend right now, clearly we are moving in a significant downtrend. So right now Bitcoin, this right here is really not a bullish Bitcoin indication. And that is right now why I definitely want to share with you that no, I am not buying Bitcoin right here. I'm right now still waiting. I do of course remain in my long trade on Bitcoin right here. However, before I'm going to add even more capital to this specific trade, I want to see a sign of strength. But of course also, because right now we are getting a push down, my trading bots are also buying the dip. Bitcoin and Ethereum trading bot, both of them are said that yes, they are buying the dip. Bitcoin bot is going to be buying all the way down towards 65,000 US dollars. Ethereum bot is right now said that it is going to be buying all the way down towards 2,000 US dollars. So both of the bots right here are right now still in a very nice profit, and the lower we are going to go, the more they are going to buy. And this is also my exact strategy that I'm right now using with all of my trades right here. If Bitcoin right now does get a sign of strength, of course, I'm also going to be buying even more and adding even more capital to all of my long trades, potentially also open a brand new trade on XRP, but more about that slightly later. Right now, I just want to share with you what is going to be a bullish indication we really want to see to be formed on Bitcoin before we can then say, okay, the bottom is right now probably in, let's look for higher targets, because again, we are not trading right now at a random level. We definitely hit a very important and usually a very nicely respected golden Fibonacci ratio. Remember, only a few days ago, we talked about the area of resistance, and you're right now going to see, going with Fibonacci retracement once again right here, you can definitely see we go from the high back towards the low. Golden Fibonacci ratio on Bitcoin hit almost exactly. Also, at this specific area, where did Bitcoin get a bounce off of? You're going to see almost exactly at the golden Fibonacci ratio. So golden pocket, yes, it is the most important Fibonacci ratio you should always pay attention to. And right now, Bitcoin is trading exactly right here. So yes, there is right now still some hope left for Bitcoin to right to get a bigger push towards the upside. However, pay attention to the sign of strength, which is very simply going to be if we get the acceptance above our very important value area low. Measuring right now the entire bottom price section with volume, you can actually right to see with a current push towards the upside Bitcoin is getting for the past few minutes right here, we are literally retesting the value area low of the entire bottom price section right here. And yes, deviations from our value area low are something completely normal. Look at this right here. We got a push down, we were below our value area low. However, then you need to pay attention if Bitcoin is able to see the acceptance above the level. If this is going to be the case, definitely a bullish indication. We might be looking for another rotation back towards the upside, towards the value area high. But of course, at least at the moment, no, Bitcoin is not above the value area low. We need to see right now another push up, hold the level, and start closing the candles above this specific area, above 87,000 US dollars. If we are going to be able to do that, bullish indication on Bitcoin, then definitely you might be looking to fire another long trade on Bitcoin, stop loss simply approximately below our recent lows, looking potentially for another major push towards the upside on the Bitcoin price itself. And of course, if you want to trade with us, make sure you take an advantage of the free 30,000 US dollar bonus with the first link down below, because yes, only after you're going to register, you're already going to get completely for free 20 USDT. Then make sure you deposit, you're going to get another 20 USDT, and once you're going to open up your first trade, you're going to get even bigger bonuses. Of course, also, if you want to copy my exact trading bots, and also right now is a very good time for you to deploy them, simply because your starting price is going to be very low, if potentially right now Bitcoin bottomed out at this specific area. But of course, even if we are going to go lower, the bots are going to be buying the dip, so you can create an account on Pionex using this specific link, and then simply copy my exact bot settings with this specific link down below in the description. Right now, let's also talk about our liquidation levels, because it really does look like, on the 3-day time frame at least, bigger liquidations are not going to be below the recent lows, but actually exactly above the recent highs. At approximately 91,000 US dollars, approximately 78 million of short positions are going to get liquidated. Now also, when we are zooming out, let's just say on the weekly time frame, the liquidations are unfortunately not going to be as significant, but nevertheless, some bigger liquidations are still going to be slightly above our recent highs, where approximately 150 million of short trades are going to get wrecked. Also, the exact same story is right now happening on the 2-week time frame. Bigger liquidations on Bitcoin right now at least are not below the recent lows anymore, but actually above the recent highs. The biggest liquidation cluster on the 2-week time frame is clearly going to be actually much higher right here at approximately 95,000 US dollars, where over 219 million of shorts are going to get wrecked. And those levels right here are definitely acting as a magnet for Bitcoin, and of course are also going to be a bullish Bitcoin indication. Not to mention, literally only a few hours ago we also hit the oversold area on the Adler stochastic CG oscillator. So what you're going to see, yes, only a few hours ago on the daily time frame the Adlers went directly in the oversold area. Also on the weekly time frame right now we are already in the oversold area, and usually once we are reaching the oversold area it is going to be some kind of a bullish Bitcoin indication. Additionally, going right now with the RSI indicator and also with the money flow indicator on the 4-hour time frame, we hit the oversold area only a few hours ago, and right now on money flow we are even forming a bullish divergence. Higher low on money flow, lower low on the Bitcoin price. So this right here is going to be a regular bullish divergence, and on the 2-hour time frame pretty much the exact same story. We reach the oversold area forming a bullish divergence on the money flow indicator. So don't get me wrong right now. I'm not saying to you Bitcoin must right now get already a major push towards the upside. We are prepared for more downside with our bearish elliott wave count, but of course if we are going to get a sign of strength, that being said, Bitcoin holding our volume level right here, start closing the candles above this specific volume level, bullish indication. Of course, no guessing, no emotions, we know where we are going to be wrong. We can then simply look to scale our long trades on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and potentially also enter a brand new position on XRP. Why XRP? Because yes, as I said before, I got stopped out on my long trade on XRP. However, at least as of right now, if the bottom on Bitcoin is actually right now in, of course, I'm also prepared to fire a brand new trade on XRP, simply because we just took the liquidity literally exactly below this specific low. And yes, this specific low right here is definitely also going to be a very important liquidity level for XRP. For Ethereum, yes, we are also taking the liquidity literally just below our recent low, but of course, the most important thing is right now, pay attention to Bitcoin. If Bitcoin does right now get a sign of strength, that being said, the golden Fibonacci ratio is right now actually the bottom right here. We need to hold the value area low. Very simple rule for you to right now follow, because if we are not going to be able to reclaim this specific level, bearish indication, we are definitely then looking for much lower targets below 80,000, maybe even towards 70,000 US dollar area. But definitely right now, because we are getting a push down, the main strategy is always going to be buy low and sell high. Right now we are getting a push down, we simply need to wait for a sign of strength. Even if we are right now going to start reclaiming the value area low, you're at least going to be buying on a dip. You're going to try to buy low and then potentially sell high if we are going to get a bigger push towards the upside. This is right now why, if you want to trade with us, make sure you take an advantage of the free 30,000 US dollar bonus with the first link down below, because only after you register you get 20 USDT. Then also make sure you deposit, because you're going to get an even bigger bonus. But of course also, if you want to deploy my trading bots right here, you create an account on Pionex and deploy the bots using this specific link. But also right now, thank you for smashing up the like button.